Now then, it's going to blow a gale a bit later on, and I just wanted to catch this before the wind really gets up and gets in the microphone. And there's Flash having a nosy about. I just want to show you this as well. Just over there, there's a Wellingtonia that we planted about 1990, something like that. Yeah, that must be the best part of 18 to 20 meters, so that's doing well. Anyway, the breeze is getting up already. We've got a problem with this auger feed, and it's the that's the pellet feed, and the auger is worn dramatically. And the symptoms, and I've been investigating, and it's been, how can one say this, it's been chewing the pellets up, not at the hopper end but right next to the burning head. So I'm just going to take the auger out, which is to remove the 4 bolts there, and see what happens. Got to drag it out, and it seems if you take it out and clean everything, then it'll run fine for about a week, and then slowly it'll start to block up to where the point where the motor won't start, because it's a 3-phase motor and it's on a little inverter. Because it's a stop-start thing all the time, a single-phase motor wouldn't handle it. But we'll just have to see and investigate, see if I can do some repairs. I've inquired about another auger, and an arm and a leg plus a bit more and a fortune. Anyway, we will investigate and see what we can do. So here's the auger. As you can see, it's just a simple keyway on the end with a bit of tube welded on as a stop, and then the vanes of the auger are quite thick. I would say they are 5mm, and as we go along they seem to be fine until the last few, and it looks like there's a bit missing there right on the end. So I think I'm just going to attach a few bits, maybe run a bead of weld on there just to increase the diameter, and add a bit on the end there, because it looks like it's lost a lot and therefore it won't be pushing the pellets forward enough. So because it's going to be windy and everything, I'm just going to crack on with that. So I couldn't actually film repairing the auger, A, because it was blowing a gale, and B, because I really wanted to crack on with it and get the boiler working, because it's pretty cold, and you know, the boiler needs to be back up and running, so there's no messing about. Besides, the wind would be in the camera something rotten. Anyway, so I used some of this, which is about 3mm. It's one web of a piece of angle iron. Okay, a bit thinner than the original, and now you've got to imagine that there's a little stub of the original auger on there, and I'm trying to weld this on the top. Okay, so the center core of the auger is about 24mm, but there's that piece of a web left. So we've got a bit of steel here which represents the diameter of the auger with part of that web left, and we've got a bit of cardboard. So what I did was I sort of traced round there at an angle, yep, on a bit of cardboard, then cut it out. Okay, so that sits on top of the existing web. Yep. Now then, so you can weld that then in place. Okay, now obviously as we're dealing with the existing web, we're going to have to taper this off at some point, and this needs to come round and then attach to another piece of this. So once you've tacked it in place, if you need to, you can twist it with a hammer. Yeah, give it a good belting and twist it round. Yeah, weld it properly and then grind the outside to shape. Cut this something like that. Yeah, and this one obviously would be tapering off like that. Okay, and then we can join the next one on. You got the theory. You just got, I mean, I was just making it up as I went along. The basic thing was a new auger would be 3 weeks to turn up. It's the middle of winter. It's quite a lot of money. Well, you spend an hour and it's fixed. And if it doesn't work, then you've learnt something. And if it does work, you've learnt something again. Yeah. And also, if you fix it yourself, your impact is lower. You know, you're not incurring the energy costs of the production of another item when you can fix the one you've got. Anyway, hopefully you've got the idea, and you know, once it's welded, twist it with a hammer to get the flutes in the right orientation. Obviously this one's tipping right down like that, so it needs to come back like this. Yeah. And what better way is once you've welded it in place. Anyway, on with the rest of the video. Now you've got to do a lot of grinding and sort of making it up as you go along, and just here where the vein was very thin, I ran the arc welder along there on a real low setting and just built up the edge. So this isn't brilliant, but it's a stopgap. We are the middle of February and I don't want to be without the pellet burner if we can help it, and taking it apart regularly to clean out all the compacted and broken up pellets is a pain in the neck. So hopefully this has extended the pushing power of this auger. So let's put it back together and see what happens. So there we go, it's busy working away. Probably the camera's picking up the roar of this auger rather than my voice, but it's also blowing a gale outside, and in a moment we should get the auger. There it goes, you just heard it when I was talking. Anyway, let's hope it all fixes it. Catch up with you soon.